life journey. Next, I want to ask you, what action can you take right now to begin to take responsibility? What action can you take right now to begin to take responsibility? It's okay. My little Leo, my little people might pop in and out because they're a part of my life and I love them. So I encourage you to prioritize whatever action comes to you. This process is so simple it's hard. I say that all the time. It is so simple to stop and ask, how can I take responsibility in this moment? And I bet when you're feeling panicky or upset or anxious, if you can answer this question honestly, what can I do right now to take responsibility? You will feel better. I know you will, because the answer's inside, remember? Taking responsibility is like peeling an onion. There are so many layers, so many layer upon layer. But remember, I encourage you to be patient with the process. Love is the greatest ally of taking responsibility. So show love towards yourself as you work on yourself. Okay. Can I get a thumbs up if you are still here and you can hear me? A thumbs up in the comments. I hear you will be so helpful. Okay, so my story. The more I take responsibility, the more empowered I feel and the greater my life becomes. Taking responsibility has led me to choose an amazing husband, 3 beautiful children, a beautiful home, amazing friends, beautiful trips and experiences, a fulfilling career, and a purpose and mission that inspires me daily. I also want to add that taking responsibility has made it so that during this crisis, I still feel I'm living my best life. You will not hear me say this was my worst life. Oh my gosh, 2020 is the worst. You won't hear me say that. You're going to hear me say this was the best year of my life, because it is. Every moment, even though I feel anxious, even though I feel scared, because I'm always taking responsibility as things come up moment to moment, I feel empowered. Thank you, Vera. Thank you for giving me the thumbs up. Thank you for being here. So, taking responsibility has shifted my perspective and inspires me to look at each experience, whether good or bad, this part's important, as a learning experience. I'm continuously looking at each situation and asking myself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better? When this first started, when we started shelter in place and I still had to go to work, I started panicking and withdrawing. And I asked that question, what can I learn from this? What can I do to serve? And the answer was so clear. Start sharing your work more and more and more. Share your breathing exercises. And the moment I started doing that, I felt better. I still feel scared. It's still an interesting, very challenging situation, but I feel better because I'm asking, how can I do better moment to moment? I know this process works because this is not what my life looked like before. I have to tell you that I've been physically sick, depressed, and acted like a victim, a very big victim, that blamed everyone for everything. My life has shifted with each act of taking responsibility. I now believe and claim I am living my best life. I stand by that. Every year is better and better. It doesn't matter. Even when I have trauma, even when I have COVID-19, it's still my best life. It's still my best life. And I'm responsible for all of it. My prayer for you. I pray you own your situation and begin to be conscious during each decision you make. I pray you acknowledge your strength and wisdom. You're so wise. You're so strong, my friend. I pray you begin to seek counsel with yourself before making decisions. I pray you take responsibility and reap the rewards of owning your experience. It's beautiful when you own your experience. All right, we're doing great. So excited you are here. Don't forget to share this out. I'm going to type where you can get my book now on audio. And I'm really proud of the whole recording because when you listen to it, it's like I'm talking to you. I'm not reading my book, I'm talking to you. I'm sharing stories, I'm sharing guidelines and practical insights and prayers with you. So I hope that you will share it with others and listen. And I'm just grateful you are here. So welcome. And if you're on Instagram, if you click the link in my bio, my Linktree link, you will get access to my, the book is available in print, ebook, and audiobook. Yes! And now more than ever, we need guiding principles that are practical, right? So part 1, chapter 1, choose your feelings. Choose your feelings. Don't forget to share this out because someone you know probably needs to hear some of this. It's crazy times. Choose your feelings. I pay no attention whatsoever to anybody's praise or blame. I simply follow my own feelings. That was said by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Enlightenment means feeling bliss regardless of what the outside world is presenting, even now during this crisis. I am constantly learning from my patients and clients. One of my very favorite patients in particular continues to inspire me in memory. I remember several years ago being in my patient's room as her doctor pronounced that she had lung cancer that had spread to her bones. I found myself feeling so sorry for her, so sorry and sad, and at such a loss for words. My patient shocked both me and her doctor as she pronounced, "Well, thank you. Thank you for your excellent care," she said. "And I appreciate your time. I want to go home now and visit my flower garden. It's planting season, you know." Once the doctor left, I was really worried about my patient. I asked her, "Are you okay? Like, did you hear what he said?" And she responded, "I am blessed beyond reason. I am blessed beyond reason." You know what? Take a moment to say that right now. I am blessed beyond reason. That is such a powerful thing to say, and it feels amazing. I am blessed beyond reason. I have the amazing ability to choose how I feel, regardless of what is happening. And today, I choose to feel blessed. When she said that, my whole world shifted. I changed at a cellular level when I heard my patient say, "I choose to feel blessed." Because wow, that was huge for me at that time. I was speechless because honestly, I felt like I didn't choose how I felt at all. It felt like bumper cars, you know, like I start my day, I'm happy, so happy, right? My husband said something I don't like, I'm mad. And then I hear my favorite song, happy again, right? And then I realize we're out of almond milk for my smoothie. Sad. My whole day's ruined. Then I'm out in my car and someone cuts me off and I'm mad at them, mad and frustrated. And then I pull into the parking lot of my work and I see my favorite work buddy. Woo! So happy, right? So it's like bumper cars. And this idea that you could choose how you feel, wow, that was incredible. So I really, I just thought it was an amazing concept. And what I feel is that being grounded in who you are and staying in a constant state, reminding yourself, all right, if I just got a notice that my bill's overdue, me getting upset isn't going to help the bill get paid, right? So maybe I want to stay peace and calm. Maybe that's where I want to stay because it feels peaceful. The best way to get to this place when you feel all over the place with your thoughts and emotions is to be still. Being still is your friend, but unfortunately, it's the last thing you want to do when you're feeling this way. But remember, you can practice. It's like going to the gym and building a muscle. You can build the muscle of being still and silent. Become an observer. Watch your thoughts and feelings with curiosity. Take deep breaths and slowly extract yourself from your thoughts and feelings until you feel centered. Since then, it has become a daily practice of mine to come back to center. When I feel my feelings shifting, either positive or negative, the roller coaster of going up and going down. I lost my place because I got so excited. Blah, 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 blah. I'll just start here. I find that most of us allow our mental state to be dictated by outside circumstances. So I invite you to feel this statement. Most of us allow our mental state to be dictated by outside circumstances. I want to ask you, reflect on your day so far. How do you feel today? Did your feelings at any point in time since you woke up change as a result of outside events? If yes, how so? Does the way you feel involve anything outside of yourself? It is simply a habit to feel happy or unhappy because certain circumstances occur. You can choose to change your feeling reaction. It has simply become a habit to worry or to feel upset when there is a conflict. So right now, we've never had a pandemic. That's really scary. And thank you, Teresa. Yes, I love that too. Choose your feelings. It's my absolute, I love it. Right now, when I think of pandemic, the emotion I've attached to the word pandemic is scary. Scary, death, I can't protect my children. But that is just something I assign to the word. I could choose something different. I could choose to feel, when I hear the word pandemic, I could choose to feel peace because I'm going to be still and I'm going to try to affect what I can. You can be a witness to your mind and its reactions to events outside of yourself. You can also choose to feel differently. Every time you can choose to feel differently. This last week, I've had to really train my mind that when I see hand sanitizer, I'm not going to feel scared. I'm going to feel empowered. Like this is something I can do to protect myself and my family and my patients and my loved ones. When I see a line in front of H-E-B, I'm not going to feel panicked like there's not food. I'm going to remember that I have food in my kitchen and I'm okay. I'm okay. And I'm going to feel gratitude that the people in line have somewhere to go to get food. So you can change how you feel, but you have to get curious. You have to start watching your feelings. You have to start seeing that whenever you see your loved one, don't you feel happy? That was a choice and a good one, I think. So you can be a witness. This does not mean you avoid your feelings. That is not what I'm saying at all. It just means that while you process your feelings and work on yourself, you can be peaceful. So I have a question for you. How might your life be different if your feelings remained peaceful and calm regardless of outside circumstances? How might your life be different right now that we're experiencing a crisis? How might your life be different if you remain peaceful and calm regardless of outside circumstances? Because I don't know about you, when I feel anxious and panicky, it hasn't helped anything at all. In fact, it has hurt me and those I love. This change of perspective is like a meditation. You can choose your constant state of mind, whether it be happiness, peace, or quiet. I encourage you to choose a feeling you would like to feel most often. Think of your feeling of choice as an anchor. So for me, I like to feel peace. That's my anchor thought. As your day begins, reflect on your chosen state of being. As the day progresses and your mind begins to shift, because it will, we're human, this is what happens. This is what happens. Thank you for all of your comments. If I don't respond to all of them, please know that it's not because I don't care. Okay. So yes, escalating feelings escalates feelings of turmoil when you, I imagine that you mean when we start panicking. Okay, so in changing your perspective, I want to share a really helpful tool that has changed my whole way of operating. I'm going to help you find an anchor feeling. Are you ready? All right. So I invite you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and reflect on your most peaceful state of being. Think of a time you felt at peace. Just remember the last time you felt completely peaceful. Sit with the feeling. Pay attention to the details. Notice how you feel. What do you see? What do you smell? What are you hearing? Be in your peaceful moment. Be so in your peaceful moment that you feel like you're there and you remember it with every ounce of your being. Once you feel connected to your peaceful moment, extract the essence of what was going on in that moment. Extract the essence and feeling of the moment you are remembering. The essence and feeling of your memory is now your anchor. It's now your anchor. Once you become clear on your anchor, you can choose to visit this state as often as you wish until it becomes a constant. I encourage you to watch your mind as you walk through your day. Anytime you become attached or find yourself responding to a situation or person in a way that causes you harm, you can return to your anchor. Allow your anchor to be like a beacon shining and bringing you home to your feeling of peace. An important note about feelings: they can literally harm your health. Feelings that are stressful cause your body to release cortisol, which lowers your immune system. It shuts down your metabolism. It increases your blood glucose levels. Those are your blood sugar levels, and increase blood pressure. We literally hurt our body when we feel panic and anxiety. Peace and calm can be your constant state of mind. I encourage you to think of creating mental peace like building a muscle. It takes time and repetition. You have to do this daily or else it won't become a habit. While I do think it is beneficial to learn to change our reactions to stress from anxiety to peace, it is also important to allow all feelings and emotions, as they can serve as tools and help to signal when you are out of balance. So I'm just trying to say that as you work on changing your state of being, This does not mean that you ignore your emotions or feelings. Those emotions and feelings are giving you great information. All that happens is that you start to get curious and ask yourself, what does this mean? Why am I angry right now? Why do I feel afraid? Is it true what I'm feeling? Is this really how I want to feel? And then you can return to your peaceful state. But never am I saying to stop ignoring your feelings or emotions. Your feelings and emotions are really important and powerful. It's important to listen to them and learn from them. What I am sharing is that you can choose to feel peaceful and calm and learn from your anger, learn from your sadness. All right, does that make sense? And I just realized that on my personal Facebook page, I can't see your comments. But please know I'm going to read them very carefully once I'm done. And know that anything you say matters a great deal to me. All right. So my prayer for you, I pray you begin to meditate on your anchor, and the moments between feeling peace and contentment become shorter and shorter. I pray you build your capacity to return to your feeling of peace so that it becomes a constant. I pray you begin to know peace despite anything that may be happening outside of yourself. I pray you recognize that true freedom lies within, and it is just a matter of practice and allowing peace to become a habit. Thank you so much for those hearts. Thank you for being here. I'm beyond grateful that you are here. All right. So please remember that Live Your Best Life is now available as an audiobook on iTunes, on Audible, everywhere you find audiobooks. It's very, very exciting times. I'm going to, on Instagram, if you click the link on my bio, you will be able to see how to buy the book. And I just put the link in the chat, but I don't know if it's getting to Facebook. So it's Linktree has my, oh good, it got to Facebook, good. All right, so please share this out because I bet someone needs to hear this today. We're living in crazy times and I bet someone needs to hear this. Thank you. How awesome that my boys check in on me and let me know that the sound is good. Isn't that great? Leo, do you have anything to say?
No.
Okay. Okay. Part 1, Chapter 2. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look how much we have left of the book. We're going to be here. Well, I'm going to be here. You're going to check in and stay as long as you'd like. Part 1, Chapter 2, Choose Your Thoughts. This is a big one and not always easy to do. Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. Willie Nelson said that. What a concept, right? That once you start having positive thoughts, you'll have positive results. Who here has found that to be true? I'm raising both my hands and my feet. Yes. Okay. So, and I've seen some hearts over here, so I think you are agreeing. Thank you for being here. Thank you. All right. Thoughts are constantly present in our mind. I truly believe thoughts become things. I know this 1000% to be true. Thoughts become things. What we think about moment to moment creates the reality we live in. Never forget that. Remember a time in your life when something major happened? For example, when you bought a new car and you saw the same make and model everywhere you went? Or if you or someone close to you is pregnant and all of a sudden you see pregnant women everywhere you go? This doesn't happen because all of a sudden everyone is magically going through what you're going through. It happens because your thoughts are focused on the new happenings in your life and your mind is vigilant and seeks out that which is like what your mind is thinking. So if right now, during this crisis, you're thinking about everything that can go wrong, you're going to see that everywhere you go. You're going to see it in the news. You're going to see it reflected. People are going to say these things to you. But right now, if you focus on being peaceful, you focus on being calm, you focus on making a plan, you guard your mind. If you're not getting help from the news, turn it off. Turn it off. I want to be informed, so I visit the CDC website, and there's a site that I like to watch about what's going on, and I check it once a day. That's it. That's it, because that's all I can handle, or else I start panicking, right? So choose what you are thinking, because being mindful will dictate how your day goes. And if you start thinking, okay, there is help, there is food, there are people are coming through and being giving with one another, then guess what you start seeing? You start seeing all kinds of examples, and they're out there, of people coming together, of giving their talents, pulling their talents together and doing good. You can feel empowered. All right, I get a little excited. So one of the greatest tools available for creating and inspiring thoughts are the use of affirmations. Now more than ever, affirmations are very important. I absolutely love affirmations. I love working with mantras. All mantra means is a word or phrase that is repeated often. I am constantly amazed. You are welcome, Matthew. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you. Please share this out. If you're finding this helpful, share this out. One of the thoughts that I've continuously thought in my life is I am tired. I used to think that all the time. That was like my constant record. I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. And I would say, I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of that. Well, guess how I felt most of the time? Exhausted. I would literally fall asleep in meetings. I'm seeing that some of you relate to this. So my new affirmation became, I am energized by everything I do. I became obsessed with that affirmation. I said it all the time. I am energized by everything I do. I am energized by everything I do. And the most fascinating things started to happen. I started to feel energized by everything I was doing. It was incredible. So here are some of the statements I hear all the time. And I love listening to people and watching what their life is like. Like, get curious today. Start to notice if someone in your life is always saying, that person's a pain in the neck. It's a pain in the neck. The whole life's a pain in the neck. And I've had patients that do that. And sure enough, they have neck problems, neck pain, right? I mean, we literally create what we think. So here's one that I hear all the time. I always hear, I don't have time. I don't have any time. I don't have any time. Guess what? You're not going to have any time. So what I would encourage you to start saying is, I choose where I direct my time. I choose where I direct my time. I choose where. It's not that we don't have time, right? It's that we're choosing to do things that maybe we don't want to do, right? Or maybe we need to be honest with ourselves that we don't really want to do what we think we want to do, or else we'd be doing it, right? So I'm sick and tired can become, I am well and my life energizes me. I am well and my life energizes me. Another one I hear all the time is, I'm not good at, because I have this thing where I love knowing names, and I put a lot of effort into learning. If I'm in a room teaching a class with 30 to 40 people, I will learn all of their names. And people think I'm magical. And then they start saying, I'm so bad with names. I do what you're doing, but I'm bad with names. I'm not good with names. It's not that they're bad with names. They're just choosing not to make that a priority. I mean, when I say that I put a lot of effort into knowing people's names, I'm telling you that when I walk into a room, I look at each person, I say their name over and over and over again as I'm passing out. I on purpose pass out handouts one at a time so I can say each person's name as I go. I look into their eyes. I feel their energy. It's not magical, right? So another one I hear all the time, I'm bad with money. Stop saying that. Don't say that because, it's not a surprise then when everything's going badly with finances. And that's one thing I had to change. I had to change it to, I am wonderful with money. I attract money everywhere I go, and I'm guided on how to spend it and save it. I am wonderful with money. I am responsible with money. I am good with money. So everyone watching, do you promise me that today you're going to look at your thoughts and see which thought's not helping you out and come up with a replacement? Come up with a replacement. I believe in you. So I have a really powerful statement to share with you. Are you ready? I hope this reaches you to your core. Whatever you believe, you will always prove yourself right. Whatever you believe, you will always, always, always prove yourself right. If this is true, why not believe something inspiring, useful, and positive? Why not? By using constant repetition and reminders, you can change your mind about everything if you choose. I invite you to choose thoughts that create wellness and success. I invite you to find a troubling thought of yours and turn it around. You are incredible. You're an incredible, beautiful person with incredible skills. So set yourself up for success by thinking the best thoughts possible. I believe in you. I really do. I believe in you with all my heart. This is why I'm taking my whole Saturday to sit here and read my book to you, because I believe in you. And I know that if you even apply one of these principles that I talk about today, you will become greater. You will become a better version of yourself. And guess what happens then? You start to affect, you at minimum, inspire and influence over 1,000 people. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what will happen if you're living your best life and you're doing your best and you're letting your best shine through and you start to be that role model for all those thousands of people that you come across? What will that do for us right now, especially now that we're in a crisis? Okay, so let's do an exercise together. Place your hand on your heart and bring your awareness to your breathing. With each exhale, release any thoughts. Let them go with each exhale. Allow your awareness to focus inward. After 5 deep breaths, ask yourself the following 2 questions. So let's do this. Let's take 5 deep breaths. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Never underestimate the power of breathing. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. I have a very important question for you. What is the one thought you're having that is causing you the most harm? What is the one thought you keep having that is causing you the most harm? Now, this is the best part. Are you ready? What is the positive version of this thought? What is the positive version of this thought? Write it down. Let it become your friend. Okay, I have to pause for just a moment because Instagram only lets me go live for an hour at a time and I have to restart Instagram. So, my Instagrammers, I am just stopping the video and starting it over again. Okay, thank you all for your patience. Is anyone on Periscope? Can I get a little shout out? Hey, I'm here. I'm on Periscope. How about YouTube? I've been getting a few comments on YouTube and Facebook. How are my Facebook buddies doing? How are you doing? Okay. Just starting my Instagram again. You all are incredible. Here we go. All right. Okay. Well, I hope you all are there and I hope you can hear me. Let me make sure my dashboard, just checking it all out. Okay, good. Everything's working. I hope the audio is good too. All right, so. Hi, Olga. Good morning. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, Live Your Best Life is available on Audible, iTunes. I'm so excited because so many people told me, listen, I don't like reading. I don't like reading physical books. When I put my book out, I had a lot of people that said I would really benefit if it was on audio. So I did it on audio. And it's just like how I am with you now, where I'm talking to you, that's how I did my audio book. And I think that's why it took so long to get it published, because it kept getting rejected. There's a lot of rules. They're very strict. So it's available on audio, and all day today I'll be reading my book. Please share this out, because right now, not only am I reading my book, but I'm applying the principles to our crisis right now, because I want to support everyone to live their best life, which is possible even during a crisis. All right. So, let me... Oh, yes, I have to share my experience. This was good. Well, I thought it was good. Okay, my experience. I am so grateful for the day I chose to commit to watching my thoughts. Being mindful of my thoughts has literally changed my health, my finances, my marriage, everything. Thank God, especially my marriage. I have to tell you, there were times we almost didn't make it. And a lot of it was because of my stinking thinking. So I share in the book that my marriage was forever changed for the better when I changed my thoughts and began to focus on the following thoughts. My marriage is harmonious. My marriage is harmonious. That changed my marriage. And not overnight. It took years, and I'm still working on it. But we are the best we've ever been. And I've worked through a lot of my nonsense by saying that affirmation. My husband and I have very different approaches to communication. We have different approaches about everything. He truly is, I'm the yin and he's the yang. So my husband and I have different approaches, and most of our marriage, I have not understood what he was saying. I literally don't understand him sometimes. And if I'm honest with you, I often felt offended. I did a lot by his words. Most of our marriage was spent arguing and misunderstanding one another. Then a little over a year ago, so this was in 2016, I became serious about changing my thoughts in regards to my marriage. I began to utilize the power of positive thoughts. I focused on, I love and accept myself and my husband. I love and accept myself and my husband. This one that I'm going to share with you now has changed everything. I trust everything he does is for my well-being. I trust everything he does is for my well-being. That changed everything because I now, even if I didn't understand him, I chose to trust he was doing everything for my well-being. And he does. I can tell you that I matter more to him than anyone else besides God. God comes first. But I'm his priority. And so I don't understand what he's doing a lot, but my affirmation became, I trust everything he does is for my well-being. For months, I repeated this phrase. Forget months. It's been years. It's been since 2016. At first, I was still misunderstanding my husband's words, but the more I committed to my new thought, I noticed a softening in my perspective. I began to notice that while I didn't understand my husband, I did start to notice all of the nice things he did for me. As time passed, I began to understand some of what he was saying, and time allowed me the grace to explain and ask questions regarding anything I misunderstood. Our relationship is a work in progress, but I am astounded by the changes. Patterns that were present between us for 14 years have shifted. I have become super humbled by the power of positive thinking. I know and trust that if you work on your thinking, you have the power to change your health. I know this to be true. Thank you so much on Instagram for helping me out with audio. Thank you. You have the power. You do. I know you do. I believe in you. Examine your mind. You have the power to change your mental well-being, your health, your finances, your career, and your relationships. I am willing to bet 100% any of your trouble areas in your life, if you just look at what you're thinking over and over again, there may be an opportunity for you to change your thinking and to help progress in that area. So what are you thinking? What are you creating? Be proactive. Choose your thoughts to create the life of your dreams. Even during crisis, you can choose what you think. You can choose what you focus on. I pray you become aware of the power of your mind. I pray you become conscious of your thoughts. I pray that you commit to including thoughts of wellness, abundance, prosperity. I pray you succeed. With all of my heart, I pray you succeed. Your success lifts everyone around you, every single person. I will always celebrate your success for that reason, because it will lift us out of especially some of this darkness that's going on right now. All right, part 1, chapter 3, choose your circle. Oh my goodness. This one, woo! I know I'm saying this a lot because everything I wrote in here I believe in like a lot. But this one is also very important. Choose your circle. My mom used to say, I'm going to say it in English and in Spanish. Dime quién son tus amigos y te diré quién eres. Tell me who your friends are and I will tell you who you are. Anyone's mom say that? My mom said that. I hated when she would tell me that. My mom would often tell me who I surround myself with was a direct reflection of who I was. And I was only as strong as the weakest person in my circle. Hated that. She told me. Anyways, I hated this statement and I fought it for a long time. Honestly, a long time. But now here I am writing a book. And it became a whole chapter in my book, people. So for the record, Mom, you were right. Mami, estabas en lo correcto. I don't know if you can screenshot that. We should send it to her right now because she was 100% right on the money. Have you ever noticed if you have friends that are very active, you find yourself being active too? Or if you have friends that are super friendly and positive, you find yourself smiling and being positive. Or one of the funny things, I pick up the people I spend the most time with, I pick up their language. I talk like them. If you have friends that are unhealthy, I've had that happen too. You find yourself rationalizing it's okay to eat this or that. Or if you have friends that are constantly complaining, it won't be long before you are complaining too. If you have friends that travel, you will tend to travel. If you know, the list goes on and on and on and on. You are who you spend time with. I listen to so many of the people I encounter express upset over their family and acquaintances. They express such powerlessness over the situation. It is essential to remember we choose who we gift our time to. This is serious. Ready? We choose, you and I choose who we spend our time, who we gift our time to. Your time is an amazing gift and it is energy. Where you spend your personal energy is a direct reflection of who you are inside. I know for a long time I've been numb to this, and I would spend my time with whoever asked. Honestly, anyone who called, all right. I have now come to know that in order to live my best life, it is essential to wake up and be an active participant in choosing where I spend my time and how I spend it. It reflects who I am. I am responsible for me, where I spend my time and with who. Choose your circle carefully. I invite you to choose people that support you and hold you accountable. Sometimes it feels good to pick people that commiserate with us about how unfair life is, but little changes for the positive when we do that. I realize I'm stating the obvious, but daily I encounter people that keep choosing people that bring them down. And then they wonder why their life isn't working. Think of yourself as a business, because you are in many ways. You're a business, you the person. If your goal is to build the most amazing and profitable business ever, who do you hire? Who would you hire? Choose these people carefully. Sometimes we just let people choose us. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's just my energy. It's just my time. It's just my life. And we feel like we have to because we don't want to be mean. It's who you choose. They represent your company. So choose wisely. Seek the company of innovative, exciting. By exciting, I don't mean loud. Some of my favorite people are quiet and they help me learn how to be more quiet and still. Fun, honest, smart, dependable, honest, loyal. Find those people to represent your company. It is also essential to choose people who are honest with you. This is a big deal, and I think this is why I avoided for a long time picking really good friends, because I wasn't ready for honesty. I have to tell you that the people in my life right now, they tell me how it is. They tell me when I'm messing up. They tell me when I could be doing better. They tell me when I'm doing great. They celebrate me when things are wonderful. They listen when things are not great. And they tell me the truth, the truth, right? Honesty can feel uncomfortable, but in order to live your best life, you must tell the truth. You must. And you must be told the truth. Both are so important. True friends will hold you accountable and tell you when you are in the right or wrong. Choose friends who are successful and happy, as they are more likely to support your success and happiness. Choose to spend your time with family and friends with whom you can be yourself. That is a red flag if you are censoring yourself and you can't be yourself. It is also a red flag that when you are succeeding, if the person can't be happy for you, that's a problem. And same for you. If you're going through a tough time and the person next to you is succeeding, if you have a problem with that, I encourage you to work on it. Because if they succeed, you succeed. We need to be okay with each other's success. That's an important, I would consider that when you're choosing who you spend your time with. You can change your whole life's trajectory, your whole life's direction by changing your circle of friends. Even if you are not acting, being, or doing the things you want to do, if you spend the majority of your time with individuals who are, it won't be long before you become that way yourself. It seeps in. You're like a sponge. We need each other. In order to adopt successful behaviors, we must have an example. If we know what it looks like and feels like, then we can become it. If you are a parent and you want to be a good parent, you need to pick someone in your circle needs to be a good parent. If you are seeking financial success, someone in your circle needs to be financially successful, or else you won't know how to do it. You won't have an example. This goes with everything. It is hugely important to keep people in your circle that want to learn from you too. This is very important. So it has to be a balance. There has to be, you have to be learning from others and they have to be learning from you. You have to be offering something too. When we mentor others, it ensures we maintain our successful behaviors because it is inspiring to know someone is counting on us. This is one of the best forms of accountability. This is why I am always leading classes and groups for health and weight loss. Why? Well, because luckily at some point I mastered it, right? But it's still a problem. Every day it's tough to stay healthy. But I'm always teaching it and helping others because it holds me accountable. Because I'm going to think twice about eating mostly sweets all day long when I know people are watching me and counting on me. So my experience, as I grow as a parent, wife, and career individual, I've been blessed with great success. My continued success can be contributed to my dedication to mentoring others. I am especially passionate about mentoring young women who are the first generation to finish school, and go to college. I'm also passionate about mentoring new couples who are struggling in their marriage and new parents because the struggle is real. Those of you who are parents and are married, you know it's rough. It feels so good to support others in their struggles that I find myself, it's good to support others in their struggles that I myself have experienced and overcome. Mentoring allows me the opportunity to share my experience and knowledge with others who can benefit. It also solidifies the knowing within me and inspires me to keep striving and doing better. I am held accountable to be my best. So share your gifts. Share your gifts. There is one thing that keeps me moving forward, keeps me working on myself, and it's that I ask myself every day, how can I serve today? How can I serve? Okay, so the book walks you through an exercise about, all right, I'm going to read it. We're going to read it. It's that important. We're going to do it. All right, ready? If you're not able to do this because you're listening, you're cooking or you're doing something, at least make a mental note to do it later. This will be worth its weight in gold to you if you do it, I promise. Make a list of your friends, family, and acquaintances. Next to your list, make 2 columns. Ready? That say positive influence, negative influence. Close your eyes and picture each person you list. Don't overthink this. Just picture the person. Do you feel uplifted Or do you feel down? Do you feel heavy? Does it feel like you can't breathe? Place each person in their perspective column. So if you think of someone that's in your circle and you feel happy, you feel good, you put them in the positive influence. If you picture someone in your life and you're feeling, oh, put them in the negative influence. Okay? Next, ask yourself, this question is so important. What is it costing me to maintain this relationship? What is it costing me? In some instances, it's actually financial because maybe you're giving them money, but a lot of times it's if you talk to them and you feel exhausted, it's costing you your life energy. It's costing you your health. Can you afford to keep this relationship? Can you afford to do that? If your answer is no, consider letting this person go. You will be okay, I promise. It's hard. Man, is it hard, but you'll be okay. I've had to let go some people that were big in my life, and it was tough, but I'm okay. I'm actually thriving. So when you release someone in your life, it creates a vacuum. And before you know it, a new friend and loved one appears. You don't end up alone, because a lot of us are afraid of being alone, but you don't. The opposite happens. As you change and become the person you were meant to be, you will attract the most amazing people that inspire you to be the absolute best version of yourself. You have a responsibility to be the best you. That is the only way you will positively affect the thousands of people that you influence, just by living. So if you are thinking, this sounds great, but one of the people that's causing a negative effect on my life is someone super close. That's a little scary, like a spouse or a close family member, or maybe it's your childhood best friend or your cousin. That can be tough. That can be really hard. I completely understand that it is not an easy task to avoid someone that close. Don't worry, I have a solution for you, because it's not always appropriate to let everyone go. We don't just let everyone. Some people, for different reasons, have to stay in your life. So in my own experience, the times I've gone through my list, I've come across negative influences even as close as my own home. I felt dread at the prospect of eliminating said person because it would be next to impossible. In this situation, when a negative influence is a close family member and separation from them is not an option for you, I encourage you to set the intention to release the relationship and the negative pattern, as opposed to letting go of the person. You can still do something about this. You can change the way you relate to this person. If you have someone in your life that is in your negative influence column and letting them go is not an option, do not worry. Work on the individuals you are able to let go. So work on those first, the easy ones. This process is so amazing. It really is. As you let go of the negative influences, this may even be like, at one time I had a store that I would frequent, and the cashier was a negative influence in my life. And yet I don't know why I always felt like I had to say hi and say that, because she was so negative, but she'd always say, "Oh, I'm so grateful to see you. It made my whole day better." Has that ever happened to you? And so I felt responsible. Like I would go through her line and I realized that it was not helping me. So I let her go. I just want you to think it's not always people, it's not always like close friends. Sometimes it's just people you interact with daily. Casual. As you let go of the negative influences and embrace the people that reflect who you are, you will change. This is what's so amazing. You start to change. And as you change, this affects those closest to you. I promise that if you do have a negative influence that is close to home or in your home, they will either change too, or they will leave naturally with minimal drama. Choices create momentum. When we begin to choose positive experiences with positive people, we are propelled forward. It is amazing, the process that begins to happen. Choosing one positive experience, feeling, and person at a time will lead you to a place where you are surrounded by like-minded people without expending a great amount of effort. So I encourage you to start this process one moment and one person at a time. Every change can be facilitated with prayer, especially if the big change involves healing a relationship with someone in your life. Use the prayer below to work on changing the relationships in your life that are negative. The prayer below will support you in empowered action to begin to change yourself for the betterment of your relationship. So here's the prayer. Are you ready? To my highest, most knowing self, it is my intention to live in harmony. I pray for the intuition and knowing to heal my relationship with, and then you name the person. What is the one thing I could be doing right now that is mutually beneficial to healing this relationship? This question is magical. What is the one thing I could be doing right now that is mutually beneficial to healing this relationship? And I want to warn you, sometimes you're going to get answers you don't like. Like I've gotten answers like, tell the person they're right. Oh, that was hard. Or tell them you love them. Just say, I love you every time you see them. Or what is the one thing I can do? Lessen the contact. You know, sometimes that's it. And that can be hard to do in the beginning. So in my experience, when I know that it's possible for everyone, no matter the circumstances, to change their circle in a positive way so that you can do better. This process of selecting the best teammates in your life is essential for living your best life. The people who surround you will either contribute to your happiness or they will drain you of your energy. I encourage you to be super, super selective. Have the people who surround you mirror your values, priorities, and energy. Choose people who hold you accountable to being the absolute best version of yourself. Choose people that inspire you to be your personal best. This is not an accident that my dear friend Leanne just joined, because she's one of those people. I don't talk to her frequently because we live in separate states, but she's in my life. I hold her near and dear in my heart, and I do that because she's one of the most honorable people I know, that is when I've been mentored by her, always does right by others, those she serves. And so I keep her in my life because she inspires me to be my best. So thank you for being here, Leanne. There's no late. I'm going to be here all day, so you can visit whenever you'd like. Okay, so moving forward, be mindful when you meet new people. Notice how you feel about them. Pay attention. Pay very much attention. If you do not feel inspired or a desire to be your best, I encourage you to refrain from building a friendship and investing time and energy. Inspiration, love, abundance, peace, and success, they're contagious. They're so contagious. Choose people on your team that will infect you with greatness. Life can be so fun. It can be so fun, so peaceful. It can be super successful, exhilarating, fantastic when you surround yourself with people that embody your priorities and values. It's exciting to plan the future with like-minded people. It sets the stage for you to create your absolute best life. Right now, during this crisis that we're going through, now more than ever, who you spend your time with matters so much. If you, I don't have an experience where I have negative experiences on Facebook because we have settings. You can filter your feed. You can see only what you want to see. And unless the person is offering solutions, positivity, realness, authenticity, they're not on my feed because I don't need that in my life right now. Now more than ever. I am very careful who I call and when I call them, and I'm just honest, because I do have one person I call that is tough, but I just call them and I say, listen, I love you. I don't have a lot of time to talk, but I just want to know how you're doing. Are you safe? Do you have everything you need? Can I help you? And I want you to know that I love you. And then, because right now more than ever, your safety and your mental well-being depend on you being in a good state of mind. So be careful. All right, my prayer for you. I pray for your happiness. My goodness, do I pray for your happiness with all of my heart. I imagine you surrounded by the most loving, supportive, amazing people that lift you up. I see you smiling and being inspired to be the absolute best version of yourself. You are a bright light among many. I pray that you will always be surrounded by people who are like you, who are bright, who are trustworthy, honest, and inspiring. I pray for your success and those around you. You are an amazing, beautiful being with the loving support of many who uplift you and inspire you to be the absolute best version of yourself. All right, we're getting through it slowly but surely, right? Here we go. Part one. We're still in part one. Lord have mercy. We're going to make it. It's going to be okay. I hope no one judges me, but I need a bite of my banana bread because I'm getting a little hungry. Don't look at me. I'm being silly. Okay. Let me finish chewing because it's really rude to talk and chew at the same time. All right. Getting a lot of great feedback. This is awesome. If you're finding this helpful, please share it out because someone you know may benefit from hearing this. And that's what today's all about, is applying the Live Your Best Life principles to the current crisis at hand. So please share this video out, and remember that Live Your Best Life is available on ebook, audiobook, all right, and also in print. And I'm going to put my little address so you can get access to it. It's www.linktr.ee/Carla Caldwell. I put it in the chat, but the chat doesn't make it out to everyone. Only Periscope and Facebook get it. All right, but on Instagram and YouTube, YouTube, I put my link tree. So YouTube in my bio and Instagram on my bio. All right, here we go. Part 1, Chapter 4. Take responsibility of your words. All right, I love the following quote. Are you ready? Words are like eggs dropped from great heights. You can no more call them back than ignore the mess they leave when they fall. Jodi Picoult, smart lady. The words we speak are incredibly powerful, and yet I find most words are spoken in a careless manner, me included. I talk a lot without thinking. We don't always think about the lasting effect they will have on the speaker and those who hear the spoken words. Words have the power to build, and they have the power to tear apart. I do not know who started this acronym, but it is one of my favorites and I think worth investing thought and time in. Before you speak, think. Think. So think is the acronym. T stands for, is it true? Do you know that when I started doing this, I eliminated half of what I was saying because I couldn't say for sure 100% that it was true? Yeah. So is it true? Is what you're about to say out loud true? Do you know 100% without a doubt that what you are about to speak is true now more than ever? Do not share information unless you know it's true. People are scared. People who love you will believe what you say. So if it's not evidence-based, coming from a site that's reliable, a reliable source, and you don't know it's 100% true, don't share it, especially now. I mean, this applies to everything, but just especially now, I wanted to say that. I find it very common for us to speak words and sentences we may not be completely sure is true. Often we speak in speculation, which if you ask yourself, is that helpful? Is it helpful to be talking about someone else and their situation and we don't know 100% that that's true? I don't think it helps the person. I don't think it helps us. It's a waste of time. Think about your words for today. Was there anything you said out loud that you were not 100% sure was true? For example, during your day, did you speak about someone else or about situations you were not completely familiar with? It may seem harmless, but speaking about matters that we are not experts in is hardly ever useful for us or anybody else. It is better for everyone if you remain silent and listen. H. So part of think, H. Is it helpful? This is another thing. I found myself sometimes talking and it's not helpful. It's not. So I should just be quiet and listen. Is what you're about to say helpful? Think about it. Will your words be helping you and or anyone else if you say them? If it is not helpful, I invite you to think about it and reflect on what you are trying to accomplish. Sometimes we speak simply to replace silence. This was me. I have to work on this a lot. When it's quiet, I start verbal vomiting. Not helpful. It's better to learn to be comfortable with silence instead of just filling it with information that's not helpful. I encourage you to get comfortable with silence. Silence is okay and often necessary for reflecting on thoughts. Listen to whomever is speaking or absorbing what is being said. Silence is such an important part of communication, and we don't learn that. So I encourage you to practice. Silence helps improve our communication dramatically because in that silence, it gives time for both the speaker and listener to process what's being said and to be careful about what they're going to say next. I, so part of think, we did T-H-I. Is it inspiring? I believe wholeheartedly we have the power to inspire ourselves and others to be and do better through our words. It is worth questioning the words we are about to speak. Are our words inspiring? N, this one is important too. Is it necessary? When I started doing this, I also found that a lot of what I was saying was just filling space. It really wasn't necessary. K, this is the most important one. Is it kind? Is what I'm about to say kind? Kindness is so important and it matters to everyone we speak to. So is it kind is very important. Will you choose to be responsible and own the words that you say? They have power and they affect the outcome of all that you come in contact with. That is so huge. How would your life be different if you were mindful and deliberate with the words you choose? I encourage you to begin to watch yourself as you speak to others. Get curious. What effect are your words having? Is it positive or negative? If the answer is negative, I invite you to question why. Why? Maybe there is a hidden opportunity to work on a part of yourself. Some of us are hurting inside and subconsciously use hurtful words because we want others to feel the way we do. Please ask your adult self, will any good come from this? So I have a question for you. What is one thing you can do daily to become more mindful of the words you say? What is one thing you can do daily to become more mindful of the words you say? How will you implement this action? It's time to be intentional. If you want to live your best life, it is absolutely necessary for you to take ownership and responsibility for everything you are putting out there in your world, including your words. Your words matter. They hold weight. They have the power to uplift or bring down. What do you choose? My prayer for you. I pray you are grounded and peaceful before you speak. May you speak from a place that is authentic, true, and kind. May you realize every word you say matters. I pray you use your words to help create change within yourself and others that is positive and inspiring. All right, we're getting on with it. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing amazing. I'm just checking on all of the, making sure my sound is okay, all of my feed. Okay, awesome. Everything's going good. Well, I'm so happy you are here. Thank you so much for being present. I hope you've shared this out so that as many people who can benefit will. Oh, you're at HEB. Okay. Thank you. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy you're getting food. I'm grateful for that. Okay, everything looks good. Awesome. All right, we're moving forward. Ready, everyone? Oh my gosh, Teresa, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And Leanne, thank you for your affirmation. My Instagram friend, can you please tell me your first name? I know it says Set C Rock, and we've messaged each other before, but I would love to know your name so I can say your name instead of your handle. All right, here we go. Part 1, Chapter 5. This one, oh my goodness. You all are going to get tired of me saying that because I think it's all important. So, Part 1, Chapter 5, take responsibility of your decisions. I think this is such a big deal. Okay, Corey. Thank you, Corey. Thank you. I'm so happy you're here. I didn't get this for a long time, that every time I make a decision and I take it lightly, especially the big decisions, and I'm not intentional, it causes challenges for my life. So once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. That was said by Ralph Waldo Emerson. In my study of successful in my study of successful, happy people, it always amazes me the level of radical responsibility that is lived and shown by people who are living their best life. True story. Another aspect of taking complete responsibility is owning your decisions. People who are living a happy, complete life all are deliberate in their choices. Leanne says hi.
Hi.
He says hi back. He makes guest appearances every now and then. They own their decisions, are conscious and aware of all the choices they make. They accept responsibility for the outcomes of their decisions, whether positive or negative. If you look at yourself, think about the aspects of your life that are going well. You made some good decisions, I bet. Notice, do you feel empowered? Are you an active participant in the decisions for this aspect of your life? I'm willing to bet you have said yes. All right, but this is the part that gets me. Ready? Now reflect on the parts of your life that are not fulfilling. So think of the parts of your life not doing so well. Are you actively making decisions regarding this aspect of your life? Are you mindful and present, or do you find you just move through the motions and allow decisions to be made for you? Do you feel empowered? I'm willing to bet you've answered no. This whole thing blows my mind. When I figured out, especially, I started with finances. I started looking at my finances. I couldn't understand why every time a paycheck came in, money was spent before it was gone. Things kept going, like there was always repairs, money just gone, right? And when I started thinking about, am I responsible? Am I being active in the decisions I make? And the answer was no. So from anything having to do with money, whatever interest rate I had was decided by others. I just accepted it. Whatever the house I bought or the car I bought, it all depended. I wasn't strong in how I made my decisions. Mostly other people were making them for me. And no wonder, right? No wonder I wasn't being active and conscious I wasn't taking responsibility for my decisions about money. So I have a question for you. What part of your life do you feel is challenged right now? If you had the power to write, I would ask you to list everything that scares you or makes you feel disempowered in this aspect of your life. And I would also invite you to, what would you like this aspect of your life to look like and feel like? Like with money at that time, I just would bury my head under the covers. I didn't even know what I wanted or how I wanted to feel. The whole thing scared me. And it wasn't until I started facing it that it got better. What's the one thing? This is a very important question, because remember, you are the expert of you. If you get nothing else today, it's that you are the expert of you. Don't forget to consult yourself. I forget it all the time. I forget when I'm on the struggle bus that I can just be still and ask myself, what do I need to do next? There's always an answer. So what is the one thing you could be doing right now to improve this aspect of your life? My dear friend, what is the one thing you could be doing right now to help improve this aspect of your life? Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to be intentional and make a decision about this and do it? If you are willing to take the time to ask these questions, answer them honestly, and act, you will empower yourself and your life will shift. It takes consistent thought and action to create your best life. It's not necessarily hard, but it is human nature. So with this crisis right now, a lot of us are not making decisions. We're kind of letting decisions be made for us. And I want to refer you to my podcast, Live Your Best Life. I did an episode about how to take responsibility and empower yourself during this situation. And I walk you through 4 easy steps so that you can start being more mindful about the decisions you make during this crisis. So I hope you'll check that out. It's really short, it's like 12 minutes, and I hope it helps. If it helps you, let me know. So as humans, we tend to feel comfortable with only a certain amount of success. So this is another thing that I've had to learn to look out for. One book that I read every year, for the last 5 years, I've read this book every year. It's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I have read this book several times because it illustrates perfectly our human tendency to self-sabotage because we are only comfortable with certain levels of success. So this tends to play hand in hand with being conscious about the decisions we make. Sometimes we're not making certain decisions because we're uncomfortable with success. Have any of you noticed that you're doing really well? Like, let's say, you have a new love in your life and you just got a promotion and life is going great, and then all of a sudden you have a big fight with a family member. Like, what happened? Sometimes we sabotage ourselves because we start to get uncomfortable that we're doing so well, and we're like, oh my gosh, when's the other shoe gonna drop? And instead of waiting for that to happen, we do it ourselves. Maybe we pick a fight with someone, or maybe we don't make a conscious decision and things go badly. So I've found the greatest remedy is simply to keep asking the questions listed above and continuously improving and taking responsibility for all aspects of our lives, especially our decisions, despite the fear and discomfort that arises. Trust me, the more you do this, the more comfortable you will become with your discomfort. You will discover patterns and continue to act despite your fears. Personally, I have come to know myself very well. I know that when I identify an aspect of my life where I'm not taking responsibility, I feel overwhelmed and fearful to do anything. This has become a signal for me that I'm not taking responsibility for my decisions. It is important to become curious and get to know yourself. You're incredible. Get to know yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to cover that later. It is important, so important to be curious and ask yourself, what aspect of my life am I not making the best decisions? And then begin to address it. And I bet if you start looking at the parts of your life that aren't going so well, I think you'll notice if you start dissecting each time something doesn't go well, you're going to see patterns. And I know some of you watching are, you believe in science. I know you do. And science shows us to experiment, assess, look for patterns, and then, create a solution, right? So you can do that with your life. Getting curious and knowing yourself is the best way to take responsibility for your decisions. The more often you are aware you are passive with your decisions, you can be mindful and create a plan for making better decisions. Many people do not do this small thing. They stop themselves from living their best life because they don't want to face the part that's not going so great. Mindful decisions will lead you to your best life. I want to share my experience with you. I wrote that this aspect of taking responsibility has not been easy for me. I have had to work really hard at being brave and face the aspects of my life where I'm not actively making decisions. One aspect of my life where I was not active in making decisions was where my time was spent. My day was spent doing what my husband, children, extended family, work, neighbors, and friends asked me to do. It wasn't until I became uncomfortable, upset, and even resentful that I decided to look at this aspect of my life. The more I assessed the situation, I realized I was letting others choose where my time was spent because I was uncomfortable with saying no. I have since worked on this using the question shared earlier. More and more, my time is spent doing what I actively choose. I am saying no more often. And yes, it has ruffled some feathers. Forget some, it ruffled a lot of feathers. But I survived and I'm still here and I'm thriving. Remember, when you say no to something, you're saying yes to something that matters to you. Remember that. Saying no says yes to something else. And so often, what we say no to matters even more than what we're saying yes to. This is just one example of many where I chose to take responsibility of my decisions and empowered myself to own my experience. The results have been incredible. I now look forward to that uncomfortable feeling I get when I'm not making my own decisions because I know that once I assess and choose to make decisions, my life improves and I'm living my best life. So my prayer for you, my friend, I pray you open your eyes and see the aspects of your life you can choose to take responsibility and actively make decisions. I pray for you to be brave and to own each decision. May you empower yourself and live your best life by choosing to take responsibility of your decisions. Okay, part one conclusion. All right, we made it through part one. The price of greatness is responsibility. Winston Churchill said that. If you can master the art of taking complete and radical responsibility of every aspect of your life, you will live your best life. It is inevitable. Taking responsibility means you will no longer be able to blame anyone or anything for your success or failure. It is all on you and you and you and you and you. While this can feel daunting that you are solely responsible, it is also greatly empowering. You are in charge of how happy and successful your life can be. Choose to take responsibility of your thoughts, feelings, people you spend time with, words and decisions, and you will thrive. You will create your best life. You will succeed, no exceptions. I know what you're thinking. What about disease, war, or nature? These are out of our control. I understand. But at all times, you choose your reaction. How timely those words are, right? You choose how you think and feel. It is up to you. Take responsibility. Live your best life. My prayer for you. You are an amazing being destined for awesome things. I pray you take responsibility for your whole self and your whole life. I pray you realize that taking radical responsibility will transform your life and lead you to your absolute best self and life. All right, part one, done. Part one's the longest. So part two, we're going to be talking about getting organized, which I know that sounds a little strange. Like, what does that have to do with living my best life? It has everything to do with it. Everything. And again, this part of the book is very practical. Okay, but the reality is that I had a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and a glass of water. So I bet you can imagine what I need to do next. I'm going to take a little break, but I will start up again in Okay, let me give a good time so that, let me see. I don't know what time it is. Okay, it's 11:15. I'm going to start again in 15 minutes at 11:30 my time, Central Standard Time. And again, I'm so grateful you all are here. I'm going to be here all day. So I will see you soon in 15 minutes. Don't forget to share it out. Once I start again, please help me reach as many people as I can. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will be right back. All right.